This time, I'm using some of the freeze-dried mandarins in ice cream. Plus, I'm freeze-drying some orange cream bars. It was slow, but this is the way I did it. I'm going to powder some of the mandarin orange stuff. And then going to sift it to make sure that it's nice and smooth and even. And then going to put it into some ice cream. So just breaking this up a little bit. So I tried crushing some of it with a rolling pin just in a Ziploc bag, and the texture wasn't as smooth as I'd like. So now moving on to the blender. Wow, that's super powdery. Okay, well, I think that works. Now I'm going to sift that into a bowl. Wow, this could be a great way to do frosting too. So just using the back of a spoon to make sure I get it all. Yeah, so those bits really don't have much orange flavor. They're just kind of the membrane parts, so I'll get rid of those. Yeah, I want to mix that in with vanilla ice cream. Or mix vanilla ice cream into it, either way. Okay, so I've got a parchment lined pan, and I'm going to put a bit of ice cream in it, weighing it so I can have it repeatable or find out what I like and don't like. So I want to put a thin layer down there. So I'm just going to scoop a bit in. So just about 120, just under 125 grams. I don't know if that's enough to even get a little layer on there, and how to get it spread across there evenly. But that doesn't look like that works out well. Yeah, that's terrible. So maybe if I put another piece of parchment over it, I could squish it into the corners, but I need to work quickly before it melts. Let's try a small piece. I want to try to get a nice even layer across the bottom because I have a plan for the next step, and that's not working out very well at all. Okay, so that's a bad plan. Now I need to come up with a good plan. That's not great, but try freezing that in there, see if that paper will come off and see if that will work. Okay, I let that thin layer freeze for a little while, and I took the parchment off the top, so I've got this thin layer. It's not super even, but it worked. Now I'm going to take some of the orange, the vanilla with a lot of orange mixed in, and add a layer on that. Oh, I should weigh that. So again, I can get even a layer of this. This is super orangey. So I got about 100 grams on there. Let's see how I can, whoa, it's not frozen good enough still. It thawed out really fast because it's so thin. Doggone it. That's, okay, that didn't work because that thawed out by the time I got things set up. So back into the freezer that goes, and see if I can freeze it enough to moosh it around there. Had it in the freezer for a little while, and a change of venue so it doesn't have time to warm up. Oh, that's much better, because then we can put this layer of it across there. So trying to make kind of like the dreamsicle, except using the cutie oranges, because they're outrageously yummy, and then mix it in with the vanilla ice cream and make that into a layer. So I don't know how even that is, but it's starting to soften, so I better get it back in the refrigerator or freezer. Then later I'll add, I think I'm going to try adding another vanilla layer to the top, and I'll probably do it here so it won't thaw out. Okay, that's had an hour or so to chill. Now I'm going to try to top it with another layer of the vanilla. Got it kind of soft. Going for about 150 grams. I'll try to work quickly. Try to mush this into there without giving it any time to thaw out on the bottom. Okay, that worked out pretty well, I think. Oh, it's starting to get soft on the bottom, so I need to put it on an iced thing or something to keep it from thawing off the tray. But I got it. I can get that back in the freezer, and it'll be ready for freeze drying later. Well, let's see if I can get that off there real quick. Ah, there, by pulling it quickly. Oops, I'm tearing the paper.
There you go, got it.
I think I got it all. Now I want to cut this into some smaller pieces. Let's see. Oh boy, isn't that beautiful?
Looks pretty.
Yeah, so that's the mandarin orange, the freeze-dried mandarin oranges, and then mixed with some of the vanilla ice cream, and then spread between 2 layers of vanilla ice cream. So hopefully that'll work. I'm going to do some of them quite small. The orange flavor was really intense on these. I'm going to cut a couple of them a little bit smaller because I just want kind of bite-sized chunks. The mandarin orange vanilla ice cream sandwiches. We'll see what that does. There's got to be a better way to make them because that's a slow way that I did. Some orange cream bars, like dreamsicles. So we're going to try freeze drying those. So I'm working in the freezer so things don't thaw out. I've already had the cutting board in the freezer for an hour or so. Okay, so this time I'll try not to cut the stick. Okay, so these are the last 2 for right now. This will be 8 of them on the tray. I've got 6 on the tray so far. You could probably easily get 10 or 12 on a tray, but we only have 8 available. Let's see if I can get that out of there. Just prying up gently on the stick, trying to hold the ice cream bar piece down a little bit so that it just slides the stick out of there. Not bad. And then kind of cut them up into kind of small pieces. Again, you could probably do this with the stick still in it, but I don't like the stick, so I'm doing it with the stick out. And that is all I'm doing with those. And then those can go right into the freeze dryer the way they are. Okay, adding to the freeze dryer. I'm going to put those in here. With everything cut, I load them into our Harvest Right freeze dryer. When the freeze drying is complete, I open the drain valve to let the air in, then open the door. Okay, the little creamsicle bars are out. They did pretty well. Some of the coating areas kind of puffed up, which I'm not too surprised. It'd be a really sugary, syrupy kind of edge. The rest of it looks like it did very well. The ice cream, of course, does well. Good flavor, good texture, just a little bit, a few of them popped up. I think it just, depending on how much of the outside juice area, like this is just the end of one, so it's almost all just the juice stuff. Then these are the sandwiches with the vanilla ice cream and then the ground up, or the powdered mandarin orange mixed in ice cream, and make a little sandwich. That's a real nice strong flavor. A very strong mandarin orange flavor. Well, you could probably put a layer half that thick in there and it would still do well. I'm going to bag a few of the dreamsicle One's in the clear bag. And I only use these for short-term kinds of uses. I wouldn't use these for long-term storage. But if you're going to use them right away, it's very pretty this way. Yeah, looks very nice. Now the rest of them I'll just put in a regular bag. Gonna break them apart a little bit. Well, that's a lot more than I thought it would be. I should probably put them in the littler bags. And the little ice cream mandarin orange sandwiches. I'm going to put a few of those in these kind of bags too. These would be our taste testing ones to share with people. And I'm going to just split these into two of them. Just a few in each. Again, you can do some trials with them. So I'm adding oxygen absorbers to them. Even the ones that are not going to be kept very long, I'm going to go ahead and do those also. Just seal them up. On those, you've got to make sure that you're below the hole, but above the tabs. So I kind of hold it along here. So I put those tabs right on this side of it. And these are a little bit thinner bag, so you can turn down the heat a little bit or hold it until it cools a bit. And it does a beautiful seal that you can rip off.